The book is called Do You Want to Work in Baseball? Good title. Bill Geivett, former Major League executive, most recently with the Colorado Rockies, is our special guest today. And, all right, Bill, so explain, because so many kids now are coming out with good degrees of education in finance, mathematics, economics, and they say, how do I get started? How do I get into a Major League club? What's the basic thing that you would tell them?
Well, the basic thing I would say is you better be passionate about this job, because this is not a job choice. It's a life. And anybody that's worked in professional baseball knows that very well. And there's a lot of punches in the stomach along the way when you work in this racket. But I think that's what's critical, because the people that are passionate, truly passionate about working in baseball, are the ones that are going to be successful and go through all the downtimes that you need to do on your way to have your long career. So that's number one. But number two, I would say, is creating a specialty. What is your specialty? You're on the show and the host and the big shot, not because you got a pretty face, although you do. I'm not trying to put you down. Yeah. But at the same time, you bring an analytical research aspect to this show that balances out with the other guys. And that is truly your specialty as far as what you do. It is no different for somebody trying to enter a major league club.
All right, so what could that specialty be? Because I used to tell kids all the time, hey, don't just, try to get economics. Try to get economics and math into your background. It seems like that level of education has changed. So if they have, a specific degree, what should their specialty be?
Well, if you're talking about the front office, there better be some mathematics in there. Or there better be some probably practical work experience in regard to that, working for some websites that do baseball analytics and that type of thing. But as far as your academic preparation, it has to include statistical analysis, regression theory, everything along those lines, because that's what the best candidates, that's what they're doing. And that's where the upper echelon is. So you better, if you're going to compete with that, to try to get in the front office, because that's the needs of major league clubs right now as far as an internship. Right. But if you look at pitching coach, hitting coach, former players, they do a lot of what we talked about in the last segment. They have to get involved in this. And there's a lot of work to be done on that from their end as well.
Well, that other side of it is right. If you are a former player, well, a lot of that will take care of itself, right? I mean, if you've played, but then how does it make a difference if you've played college ball? Because, again, not many people are going to be even playing high-level minor league ball.
Well, you would just look to, even if you played high school ball or college ball, but you want to coach. Now, you're going to need practical experience to show that you can do it. And then at the same time, you need some type of specialty. I mean, there's instructors at the big league level that didn't play in the big leagues, and some of them played very little in minor leagues, maybe some none at all. But at the same time, they have a specialty. How are you going to get to the big leagues is a whole nother step of how you get into baseball. But there's a lot of managers running around the minor leagues that can't seem to crack into the big leagues because maybe they can only be a manager. They're not a hitting guy, a pitching guy, whatever, infield guy, to really have a specialty to forge their way in.
Front offices have gotten bigger, but it seems like the talent pool has as well. Is it tougher than ever before, or has it always kind of been very tough to break in?
It's always been tough, but it's come more from the baseball side. Someone told me that I'm the last of a generation of guys coming up through being a player, scouting, into the front office and all that. And if you look around, it's kind of true. I didn't realize it at the time. But I don't want to say it's gone, but I think in terms of people enter the front office now and work their way through the front office.
How tough is it? I mean, you're telling a kid that he's got to come in and intern, right? I mean, that's always like if you're telling your own kids, like, how long do you have to go without getting paid? Because eventually you got to get paid. How long does that take?
You do, but it's almost a prerequisite to be an intern now. And you need to get in there and get some practical experience at the Major League Club in whatever job they have for you. And that's the thing but are you getting into this job to make a lot of money right away? They don't have any internships that pay a lot of money. So this is the route you're going to take, but if you're passionate about it, you can do it, and you'll put up with whatever you have to put up with.
All right, great stuff. Again, the book is Do You Want to Work in Baseball? You go into a whole thing here of scouting so everybody can speak the language, because you got to be able to speak that language as well.
You do, especially if you're more academic side. I have scouting and player development, things I learned, from Bill Livesey to Felipe Alou to Tommy Lasorda, all in terms of player development and scouting. Just like I learned it with the Yankees in the early 90s. If you want to know how the scouts were trained before Bernie and Posada and Jeter and all those guys showed up, this is how Bill Livesey trained us.
Yeah, I love you. You brought a kid in for an interview with the Dodgers, and you had Tommy Lasorda screaming at him, "You're not tough enough." That's a good interview.
Yeah, Tommy's always good.
Tommy, the closer. Bill, great stuff. Thank you so much, Bill Geivett.